A quiet beginning. Long before cities rose, before kings ruled, and before written words could carry thoughts across time, humans wandered across the vast and untamed earth. Forests stretched endlessly, rivers carved valleys, and mountains stood like eternal sentinels. The world was immense, yet every human was a small part of its grand story. The first humans were not merely survivors, they were explorers. They learned to follow the paths of animals for food, to read clouds for storms, and to notice subtle signs in nature that could mean life or death. Every sense became a vital tool. The smell of rain, the whisper of wind through branches, the sudden gleam of an animal's eyes in darkness, each detail was crucial. At night, small fires flickered in caves and open clearings. Families huddled close for warmth. Shadows danced on walls, forming mysterious shapes. Here, stories were born. Some told of hunts where cooperation ensured survival, others warned of hidden dangers, wild animals, storms, or rival groups. Some spoke of loss and grief, teaching lessons beyond words. Each story, passed softly from elder to child, became the first bridge between generations. Stone tools became extensions of human hands. Sharp rocks cut meat, branches became spears, and fire, the sacred spark, protected and illuminated. Every small triumph, a caught fish, a built shelter, a successful hunt, was quietly celebrated. Life was harsh, yet every achievement strengthened bonds, weaving the first threads of community. Humans noticed patterns in nature. The sun rose and fell, marking time. The moon waxed and waned, guiding nights of hunting, gathering, and rest. Seasons dictated migration, planting, and harvest. Memory became a precious tool, as elders taught children which plants were edible, which waters safe, and which paths led to peril. Slowly, the first whispers of civilization emerged. Fire became more than a tool, it was a symbol. Humans nurtured it, protected it, and revered it. Around its warmth, they laughed, sang soft melodies, and whispered dreams. In these quiet beginnings beneath starlit skies, humanity learned to imagine, to hope, and to dream. Whispers of stone. Generations passed, and humans began to shape the world with intention. Stones were carved, sharpened, and adapted for cutting, digging, and hunting. Caves, once simple shelters, became canvases for expression. Red ochre, charcoal, and natural pigments painted animals, hunts, and abstract symbols, a silent story for future generations. Language evolved alongside art. Sounds became words. Words became meaning. Names of rivers, mountains, and animals were shared. Survival lessons, how to hunt, cook, or protect children, passed orally, forming the earliest threads of culture. Families settled near fertile lands and rivers. Small villages appeared. Leadership emerged based on wisdom rather than power. Religion and ritual took root. Offerings were made to gods and spirits for protection and abundance. Ceremonies bonded communities, reminding humans of a larger order. Trade naturally emerged. Villages exchanged tools, seeds, and crafted goods. Knowledge traveled with these exchanges. Primitive calendars tracked the sun and moon. Marks on stone or bone recorded hunts, births, and deaths. Humans were learning, cooperating, imagining, a civilization quietly forming. At night, songs around fires carried stories of the past and dreams for the future. Children learned morality, courage, and hope. communities thrived not just on food, but on stories, dreams, and shared hearts. Rivers that remember and early civilizations. As centuries passed, humans began to settle near rivers: the Nile, Tigris, Euphrates, Indus, and Yellow River. These waterways were life itself. They provided fresh water, fish for sustenance, fertile soil for crops, and natural highways for travel. Life became more than mere survival, it became a rhythm, dictated by the river's flow, the rising sun, and the changing seasons. Villages grew along riverbanks. Simple mud brick houses lined winding streets. Children learned to fish in shallow streams, women tended crops and wove fabrics, men hunted and maintained tools. Every day was a careful balance of effort and cooperation. Temples and shrines began to rise, not as grand as later structures, but as sacred spaces where humans offered gratitude to unseen forces. Fire and water were revered. Offerings of grain, small animals, and crafted ornaments were made to gods and spirits that they believed watched over them. Rituals were slow and deliberate, marking the passage of time and ensuring community cohesion. With time, these small villages evolved into early cities. Markets emerged where pottery, grains, and woven fabrics were traded. Knowledge spread along trade routes. Farmers exchanged crop techniques, artisans shared craft secrets, and elders taught new generations songs and stories of old. The first rudimentary calendars were developed, tracking the sun, moon, and stars. Written language emerged. Cuneiform in Mesopotamia recorded trade, harvests, and laws. Hieroglyphs in Egypt told stories of gods, kings, and mortals. The Indus script, still partially undeciphered, recorded daily life and trade. With writing, humans could now preserve memory beyond the spoken word. Events, beliefs, and lessons were no longer lost with a generation. They could echo through centuries. Trade networks expanded. Spices, metals, grains, and textiles moved across continents. Caravans and boats carried not only goods but also stories, ideas, and inventions. Early mathematics and astronomy advanced, guiding agriculture and predicting seasons. Humans no longer merely survived, they began to understand patterns in the world and the cosmos. Society became complex. Leaders emerged, sometimes kings, sometimes councils, guiding communities with wisdom or ambition. Temples and palaces rose as symbols of human aspiration. Festivals celebrated the cycles of seasons and rivers, bringing music, dance, and storytelling to every corner of life. Civilization was alive, breathing through every shared meal, every song, and every act of creation. Even in hardship, humans displayed resilience. Droughts tested crops, floods reshaped landscapes, and rival tribes challenged borders. Yet communities adapted. Knowledge was passed on: how to store grain, how to build stronger homes, how to navigate the stars. Each generation added its own layer to the growing fabric of human progress. It was along these rivers that humans first realized something profound: while life was fleeting, their collective memory and shared knowledge could endure. Stories, songs, rituals, and written records formed the first true legacy of civilization. The Age of Kings and Gods. From these river civilizations emerged empires, where rulers wielded immense power, often claiming divine right. Egypt flourished under the Nile. Pharaohs were not mere leaders, they were living gods, bridges between humanity and the divine. Monumental pyramids reached skyward, crafted by thousands of hands working in coordination and devotion. Temples were adorned with murals and statues, telling tales of gods, kings, and heroes. Festivals synchronized with the flood cycle of the Nile, celebrating life, death, and renewal. Every aspect of life was infused with religion. Priests interpreted omens, guided agricultural practices, and mediated between people and gods. Music, art, and storytelling flourished alongside labor and agriculture. Children learned not only survival but also morals, reverence, and awe for the universe. Greece produced thinkers who asked questions that shaped the foundation of modern philosophy. Socrates wandered the streets, questioning citizens on ethics and justice. Plato documented ideas on ideal societies and morality. Aristotle meticulously observed nature and human behavior. Citizens debated, artisans sculpted, and theaters echoed with stories both tragic and comical. Democracy, in its earliest form, gave humans a voice in governance, a concept that would echo through millennia. Rome expanded across continents, constructing roads, aqueducts, and infrastructure that amazed the ancient world. Soldiers, traders, and scholars moved along these routes, spreading ideas, goods, and culture. Engineering marvels, bridges, amphitheaters, and public baths, spoke of ingenuity. Literature and art chronicled triumphs, defeats, and human emotion alike. Humanity learned that greatness could coexist with fragility, that ambition could thrive alongside cooperation. Every monument, every text, every piece of art whispered humanity's enduring desire to leave a mark. Civilizations were not merely structures, they were living dreams, hope, and ambition expressed through countless hearts. When empires slept and soft light returns. After centuries of grandeur, some great empires began to crumble. Rome fell, leaving vast territories in Europe fragmented and vulnerable. Cities shrank, trade routes faltered, and knowledge seemed to fade from daily life. This period, later known as the Dark Ages, was not entirely dark. Life continued quietly, but the speed of progress slowed. Farmers tilled fields under the sun, planting crops that would sustain families. Villages preserved the rhythms of daily life, meals shared, songs sung, and stories whispered by the fire. Monks in monasteries labored over manuscripts, painstakingly copying texts by candlelight. Through their careful work, the wisdom of past civilizations survived, patiently waiting for the return of curiosity and learning. Meanwhile, across Asia, civilizations continued to thrive. The Silk Road stretched across deserts and mountains, connecting distant lands. Merchants, travelers, and scholars carried goods, ideas, philosophies, and inventions. Even in Europe's slower times, knowledge was preserved and exchanged elsewhere, demonstrating the resilience and adaptability of humanity. Stories of courage, compassion, and perseverance were shared among small communities. Folk tales, songs, and myths taught lessons of patience, empathy, and strategy. Children learned not just survival, but also the virtues of resilience and cooperation. Humanity endured, waiting for a new dawn where knowledge and curiosity would flourish again. Soft light returns. Gradually, the night of ignorance began to lift. Scholars in Baghdad collected and preserved the scientific, medical, and philosophical texts of ancient Greece, Rome, and India. Libraries became centers of curiosity, not just of religion or governance. In Europe, Universities slowly emerged. Students studied mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. Observations and inventions spread across continents. Knowledge advanced steadily, human understanding deepened, and people rediscovered the world, and themselves. Empires rose and fell, but each collapse brought lessons. Humans learned to adapt, to rebuild, and to innovate. Scrolls, manuscripts, and early printed books became threads in the tapestry of human civilization, ensuring that past wisdom informed the present. People dreamed beyond mere survival. Cities grew larger, commerce expanded, and curiosity flourished. Gardens, observatories, and libraries reflected humanity's appreciation for knowledge, nature, and potential. Imagination became a tool for shaping the future, and education a vehicle for progress. Art, music, and literature flourished. Societies celebrated not only harvests and religious festivals, but also creativity itself. Human life became a balance of survival, exploration, and expression, a delicate dance that laid the foundation for the modern world. The Renaissance of Curiosity. By the 14th and 15th centuries, Europe witnessed a rebirth. The Renaissance marked a time when humanity rediscovered ancient knowledge and combined it with new discoveries. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci painted not just beauty, but the mechanics of the human body and the mysteries of nature. Philosophers questioned old dogmas, scientists experimented, and explorers set sail into the unknown. Mathematics, astronomy, and engineering flourished. Humans began to understand the Earth, the stars, and their place in the cosmos. Trade expanded once more, connecting cities, nations, and continents. Humanity's ambition and curiosity ignited an era where learning and creativity became as vital as survival itself. Ships across the silence. As centuries passed, humans grew bolder. The horizon was no longer the limit, the oceans called. Ships were built. First simple wooden rafts, then sturdy vessels capable of crossing vast seas. Explorers embarked on journeys that would connect continents and cultures. Trade flourished across oceans. Spices, grains, silk, and precious metals traveled from one land to another. With trade came ideas, languages, art, and religion. Societies exchanged knowledge about agriculture, navigation, medicine, and philosophy. Humanity's world became bigger, yet more connected than ever before. Astronomy and navigation advanced hand in hand. Sailors learned to read stars, tides, and winds. Cartographers mapped coastlines, rivers, and mountains. Every journey brought new understanding of the world. Encounters with distant cultures led to exchanges of art, food, and technology, enriching civilizations across continents. Yet these voyages were not without challenge. Storms sank ships, conflicts erupted, and explorers faced unknown diseases. Each expedition required courage, strategy, and adaptability. But every journey expanded humanity's horizon, connecting distant communities into a shared global narrative. Smoke and steel. Industrial Revolution. The 18th and 19th centuries brought a transformation unlike any before. The Industrial Revolution reshaped human life. Cities swelled as people migrated from villages to urban centers. Factories roared with machinery, steam engines powered trains, ships, and production lines. Smoke poured from chimneys. Streets bustled with merchants, laborers, and inventors. Machines sped up work that once took days or weeks. Communication improved with telegraphs, newspapers, and later, telephones. Humans bent nature to their will, yet life became faster, louder, and more complex. Daily life shifted dramatically. Workers endured long hours, often in harsh conditions. Families adapted, finding ways to retain traditions, art, and community rituals. Children played in crowded alleys and markets, learning resilience and creativity. Even amid industrialization, humans preserved empathy, imagination, and hope. Hearts remained a compass in a world dominated by steel and smoke. Technological progress sparked innovation in medicine, agriculture, and transportation. Canals, railways, and bridges linked towns and cities. Knowledge spread faster than ever, bringing discoveries to more people. Societies faced new challenges, but with challenges came ingenuity. Humanity learned to balance ambition with care, progress with morality. The human spirit amid change. Even as the world changed rapidly, humans never stopped dreaming. Literature, music, and art captured the experience of industrial life, its struggles, beauty, and contradictions. Communities formed around shared values, education, and storytelling. Every invention, every machine, every building carried traces of human hope and effort. The Industrial Revolution was not merely about machines. It was about humans learning to expand their capabilities, to explore, create, and endure. Life had become faster, yet the human heart remained constant, a source of empathy, courage, and imagination that guided civilization forward. The world at war. The 20th century arrived with both promise and peril. Humans had achieved incredible feats. Cities stretched skyward, machines carried people across continents, and knowledge flowed faster than ever. Yet, alongside progress came unimaginable conflict. World War I erupted, shaking continents and claiming millions of lives. Soldiers endured mud, cold, and the roar of artillery. Families waited anxiously, clinging to letters and hope. Communities adapted to rationing, shortages, and grief. Even in the darkness, humans told stories of bravery, of survival, and of unwavering hope. The world did not heal before a greater conflict arose. World War II reshaped nations. Cities burned, populations moved, and countless lives were lost. Yet humanity endured. Stories of courage, kindness, and resilience emerged from devastation. Ordinary people performed extraordinary acts, sheltering strangers, sharing food, and risking their lives to save others. Science and technology advanced rapidly in these times of crisis. Flight, radio, and early computers changed communication and transportation. Medicine developed at unprecedented speed, learning to heal faster, prevent disease, and save lives. Humans rebuilt cities, preserved knowledge, and continued their journey through the chaos of war. Even in adversity, creativity and culture persisted. Art, literature, and music reflected both tragedy and triumph, documenting the human experience. People found ways to connect across borders, to maintain hope, and to dream of a better future. Humanity's resilience was undeniable. The spirit to endure, learn, and create remained intact. The Age of Screens. The late 20th century and early 21st century ushered in a new era. Humans entered the Age of Screens, an era of instantaneous connection, endless information, and unprecedented access to knowledge. Computers, televisions, and later smartphones illuminated nights and brought the world closer than ever before. Ideas flowed faster than the speed of travel. News, research, and stories could reach millions in moments. Social and cultural exchange became global. Yet, amidst the rapid pace, humans still craved quiet, reflection, and storytelling. Despite technology, the heart still sought understanding, empathy, and meaning. Education evolved. Knowledge once stored in books became accessible online. Communities formed around shared interests, passions, and creative projects. Art, music, and literature found new platforms, reaching audiences across continents. The human desire to create, share, and imagine remained unchanged. Exploration continued, not just of lands and oceans, but of the mind and the cosmos. Satellites, space probes, and scientific research revealed mysteries of the universe. Humans asked questions once thought impossible. How did life begin? Are we alone? Can we travel beyond our planet? Curiosity remained a driving force, linking generations through wonder and discovery. Even today, in a world dominated by screens, humans still gather to share stories, to laugh, to dream. Civilization has reached heights unimaginable to our ancestors, yet the same rhythms persist: births, seasons, harvests, challenges, and triumphs. Every life contributes a thread to the vast tapestry of history, connecting the past with the present and the future. History whispers softly. You are part of this long, beautiful journey. Sleep, dream, and remember. Tomorrow, your story continues. The rise of technology. The 21st century arrived with lightning speed. Humanity stood at the crossroads of unprecedented opportunity. Cities grew taller, networks spanned continents, and information flowed instantaneously. Computers, smartphones, and the internet became extensions of human thought, connecting billions across the globe. Education transformed. Knowledge, once locked in books and lecture halls, became instantly accessible. People learned languages, science, arts, and history online. Collaboration transcended borders. Scientists in one continent could discuss breakthroughs with colleagues halfway around the world in real time. Artificial intelligence began to emerge. Machines learned patterns, assisted humans in solving complex problems, and even created art, music, and literature. Humans marveled at the potential, but also wrestled with new ethical questions. How should technology be used? What does it mean to be human in a world where machines can think and create? Medicine advanced rapidly. Genetic research, robotics, and telemedicine reshaped healthcare. Diseases that once claimed millions could now be prevented, treated, or even eradicated. Life expectancy increased, and human potential expanded. The environment became both a challenge and a responsibility. Climate change, deforestation, and pollution demanded collective action. Cities implemented green technology, renewable energy, sustainable farming, and conservation projects became vital to ensure the survival of future generations. Humanity was faster, smarter, and more connected, yet the timeless rhythms remained. People still gathered to share meals, tell stories, celebrate births, mourn losses, and dream of a better world. The heart remained a compass, guiding societies through a complex, evolving landscape. Exploration extended beyond Earth. Satellites orbited the planet, mapping weather, oceans, and land. Robotic probes ventured to Mars, the Moon, and distant asteroids. Space agencies and private companies expanded humanity's reach, proving that curiosity and courage are timeless traits. Culture, art, and expression continued to evolve alongside technology. Music streamed globally, films crossed borders, and literature inspired readers across languages. Humans found ways to connect through creativity, empathy, and shared experience, even in a world dominated by screens and machines. Artificial intelligence, space, and the future. Humanity had entered an era where imagination and technology intertwined. Artificial intelligence, once a dream of science fiction, became a reality. Machines could analyze vast oceans of data, assist in research, and even compose music or write stories. Humans marveled at the possibilities, yet they also pondered profound questions. What defines consciousness? Can creativity exist without emotion? And what responsibilities come with creating intelligence? Education and collaboration transformed dramatically. Students no longer needed to be in the same room as teachers. Learning became global. Virtual classrooms, immersive simulations, and iTutors allowed anyone, anywhere, to access knowledge. The barriers of geography and resources diminished, making curiosity a universal tool. Medicine advanced beyond imagination. Genetic therapies prevented diseases before symptoms appeared. Personalized medicine tailored treatments to each individual's DNA. Robotics assisted in surgeries, precision and speed increasing life expectancy and quality of life. Humanity was healthier, longer-lived, and more capable than ever before. Space exploration surged. Humans returned to the Moon, establishing permanent bases for research. Mars became a goal within decades, as private and governmental organizations collaborated to build the first sustainable colonies. Satellites monitored Earth's climate, oceans, and forests, helping humanity protect its planet while reaching outward into the cosmos. Yet, even as technology soared, humans grappled with old challenges in new ways. Inequality, environmental responsibility, and ethical dilemmas persisted. Societies debated the balance between progress and preservation, speed and reflection, power and compassion. The heart remained humanity's guide in navigating these complex questions. Culture, art, and connection evolved alongside technology. Virtual reality allowed humans to experience distant lands, historical events, or entirely imaginary worlds. Music, films, and literature became interactive, immersive experiences. People shared their creativity globally, learning empathy and understanding through stories, images, and sounds. Through it all, humans never stopped dreaming. Each generation looked beyond the horizon, not only across oceans or lands but into the infinite possibilities of the universe. The same spark that guided early humans along rivers, plains, and mountains now guided astronauts, scientists, and artists. Humanity's journey, spanning millennia, continued with curiosity, courage, and hope. Dreams of tomorrow. As the 21st century unfolded, humanity's imagination reached new heights. Cities gleamed with smart technology, skyscrapers integrated with vertical gardens, and autonomous vehicles navigated streets with precision. Communities were connected by global networks, and knowledge traveled faster than ever. Yet, amid all progress, humans were reminded of their responsibilities, to each other and to the earth that had nurtured life for millennia. Environmental challenges became urgent. Climate change threatened coastlines, forests, and wildlife. pollution and overconsumption challenged humanity's resourcefulness. But humans responded. Renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and conservation projects spread across continents. People collaborated in ways never seen before, sharing ideas and technologies to heal the planet. The lessons of past civilizations, adaptation, cooperation, and foresight, were more important than ever. Education and creativity flourished. Virtual reality allowed humans to experience historical events, explore distant planets, or immerse themselves in entirely fictional worlds. Art, music, and literature evolved into multi-dimensional experiences, connecting hearts and minds across continents. People learned empathy by living the experiences of others, understanding that despite borders, humanity shared a common story. Science and exploration pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Humans studied black holes, mapped the human brain, and experimented with quantum computing. Space colonies became more feasible, and the dream of becoming a multi-planetary species moved closer to reality. Yet, even in the pursuit of the stars, humans remembered the blue planet that had cradled life for eons. Human unity became a guiding principle. Global crises, from pandemics to natural disasters, demonstrated that collaboration was essential for survival. Nations shared knowledge, resources, and strategies, learning that progress was only meaningful if it uplifted everyone. Technology became a bridge, not a barrier, connecting people through understanding, compassion, and shared goals. The Eternal Journey. Humanity's story, stretching from the first fires to the edge of the cosmos, is one of resilience, curiosity, and imagination. Each generation adds its own threads, stories told beside rivers, pyramids carved in desert sands, cities built on rivers, machines and computers, satellites and colonies. Through triumphs and tragedies, humans have learned that life is fragile yet enduring, fleeting yet capable of leaving lasting marks. The heart, creativity, and courage of individuals continue to guide societies through uncertainty. Every act of kindness, every story shared, every discovery contributes to the tapestry of civilization. As technology and culture continue to evolve, humans face new questions. How will we balance progress with ethics? How will we nurture creativity, compassion, and connection in a world dominated by machines? What stories will future generations tell of us, and what legacy will endure? Through it all, one truth remains: humanity's journey is a continuous story, written not only in monuments and books but in the hearts and minds of every person. A whisper to the future. And so, in this quiet reflection, history whispers softly to each of us. You are part of this long, beautiful journey. Sleep, dream, and remember. Tomorrow, your story continues. What you create, how you love, and the knowledge you share will echo across generations. The past guides you, the present challenges you, and the future awaits your courage. Even as screens glow, rockets soar, and machines calculate, the human heart remains timeless. It dreams, it hopes, it loves, and it remembers. From the first fire to the edge of the stars, humanity's story continues, unbroken, infinite, and beautiful. Heroes, festivals, and daily life across civilizations. Even as empires rose and fell, human life continued in countless small and meaningful ways. Beyond kings and rulers, ordinary humans carried the weight of daily survival, dreams, and creativity. Farmers toiled in fields, artisans shaped clay and metal, and families raised children with love and care. Festivals punctuated life, celebrating harvests, celestial events, or victories. In Mesopotamia, the Akita festival welcomed the new year, honoring gods and kings alike. In Egypt, the Okut festival celebrated the bond between Pharaoh and the people, accompanied by music, dance, and processions along the Nile. In Greece, citizens celebrated Dionysian festivals with theater, storytelling, and communal joy. Across Asia, lantern festivals, music, and dances brought communities together, blending spirituality with daily life. Heroes emerged not only in stories but in actions. A hunter who saved a village from famine, a healer who discovered remedies for sickness, a sailor who mapped unknown coasts, all became legends in their communities. Tales of bravery were told around fires, at marketplaces, and in temples. These stories transcended generations, teaching courage, resilience, and empathy. Art and culture flourished alongside survival. Musicians, sculptors, and painters captured beauty, emotion, and history. Music told tales of love, loss, and victory. Sculptures immortalized leaders and mythical figures. Paintings on walls and papyrus preserved visions of everyday life. Even children participated, learning the arts as part of their education and identity. Markets became centers of culture and knowledge. Merchants exchanged not only goods but ideas, inventions, and philosophies. A trader from Egypt might bring woven fabrics to Greece, exchanging news of astronomy or medicine alongside spices and grains. Knowledge spread silently, traveling faster than armies or kings. Life was never easy. Droughts, floods, and rivalries tested communities. Yet, humans adapted, innovated, and persevered. The lessons of survival intertwined with culture, forming a tapestry of experience that connected past, present, and future. Every meal prepared, every song sung, every building constructed became part of civilization's enduring story. Even in quiet moments, humans reflected on existence. Children watched the stars, wondering about their place in the cosmos. Elders recounted stories of ancestors, teaching lessons through metaphor and memory. Humanity learned that life was fragile, fleeting, yet capable of leaving marks that endured for millennia. Science, inventions, and discovery through the ages. Human curiosity has always been a driving force. From the first humans observing the stars to the inventors shaping modern technology, the thirst to understand the world has defined civilizations. Every discovery, every experiment, every question asked contributed to the great river of knowledge that flowed across generations. In ancient Mesopotamia, humans observed the skies, predicting seasons and eclipses. They developed the first calendars, mathematics for trade, and the wheel, which transformed transportation and labor. In Egypt, engineering marvels like pyramids reflected both mathematical precision and human ambition, merging practicality with artistry. In Greece and Rome, philosophers and scientists sought to understand the laws of nature. Aristotle classified plants and animals, while Archimedes studied mechanics and buoyancy. Greek mathematicians explored geometry and logic, providing frameworks that would influence thinkers for centuries. Roman engineers built roads, aqueducts, and monumental architecture, blending utility with grandeur. During the Islamic Golden Age, scholars translated ancient texts, made astronomical observations, and innovated in medicine, algebra, and chemistry. Baghdad, Cordoba, and Cairo became centers of learning, preserving and expanding human understanding. Knowledge traveled along trade routes, seeding innovation across continents. The Renaissance in Europe reignited curiosity. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci combined art with anatomy and mechanics, while Galileo observed the heavens, challenging old paradigms. Scientific experimentation became systematic, marking a shift from observation to methodical inquiry. Humanity learned to question assumptions, to test ideas, and to embrace uncertainty as part of progress. In the Industrial Revolution, machines amplified human capability. Steam engines powered factories, telegraphs sped communication, and printing presses disseminated ideas widely. Inventions in electricity, medicine, and transportation transformed daily life, while laborers adapted to a world moving faster than ever before. The 20th century accelerated discovery. Physics explored the atomic world and relativity. Medicine conquered diseases once considered fatal, and technology connected the globe through radio, television, and early computers. Human ingenuity reshaped society at an unprecedented scale, demonstrating that curiosity paired with persistence could overcome limitations. Even today, in the 21st century, humans push boundaries in quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and space exploration. Satellites map oceans, probe distant planets, and monitor environmental changes. Every experiment, every invention, every observation contributes to the ongoing story of humanity, an endless journey of curiosity, adaptation, and growth. Discovery is not only scientific but cultural. Art, literature, and music evolve alongside technology, reflecting human emotion, experience, and imagination. Creativity and invention go hand in hand, shaping societies as much as infrastructure or governance. The rhythm of progress combines intellect, empathy, and vision, guiding humanity toward future horizons. Through ages of trial and error, humans have learned that failure is part of growth. Societies advance by learning from mistakes, questioning assumptions, and building upon prior knowledge. Every discovery, whether monumental or humble, becomes a stepping stone for generations yet to come. Humans have always looked upward, toward the stars, the sky, and the infinite possibilities beyond. Curiosity is eternal. Every telescope, microscope, and spacecraft embodies the human desire to see beyond, to understand, and to dream. Science and invention are the legacy of countless generations who dared to ask, what if? Exploration of space, oceans, and the human spirit. Humans have always been explorers. From the first footprints on soft Earth to the vast oceans, the stars, and distant planets, curiosity has propelled humanity forward. Every journey, whether across a desert, along the river, or beyond the atmosphere, carries the timeless desire to understand, to conquer fear, and to expand the horizon of possibility. The oceans, covering more than 70% of Earth, remained mysterious for millennia. Early sailors navigated by stars, wind, and currents, discovering islands, coastlines, and new trade routes. Adventures were fraught with danger, storms, pirates, unknown creatures, but courage and ingenuity guided them. Every ship that returned carried goods, knowledge, and stories that enriched humanity's collective memory. In modern times, ocean exploration became scientific. Submarines dove to the ocean's darkest depths, discovering unknown species and underwater landscapes. Research vessels mapped the seafloor, revealing mountains, trenches, and volcanic activity. humans learned that beneath the waves existed entire worlds as rich, complex, and vital as those on land. These discoveries inspired wonder, emphasizing both the power and fragility of the natural world. Beyond Earth, the dream of the stars captured human imagination. Rockets pierced the sky, satellites orbited the planet, and humans stepped on the moon. Mars became the focus of future colonies, while probes ventured to Jupiter, Saturn, and the outer reaches of the solar system. Each mission required precision, courage, and cooperation. Astronauts faced isolation, extreme conditions, and uncertainty, but they carried humanity's dreams with them, embodying the enduring spirit of exploration. Space exploration is more than technology, it reflects human resilience, curiosity, and hope. Every observation of distant planets, every sample returned from asteroids, every calculation for interstellar travel expands humanity's understanding of the universe and its place within it. It reminds humans that they are small in the vast cosmos, yet capable of monumental achievement through collaboration, creativity, and determination. Exploration is not just physical, it is emotional and intellectual. Artists, philosophers, and scientists traverse mental and spiritual realms, imagining worlds, solving problems, and dreaming beyond limitations. Stories, music, and art capture these journeys, connecting generations. A child looking at the night sky wonders not only about stars but about possibility, what they might discover, create, and share in the future. The human spirit thrives on challenge. Every discovery carries risk, and every triumph requires perseverance. Communities celebrate the achievements of explorers, scientists, and innovators, inspiring others to dream. Tales of courage, patience, and ingenuity spread, becoming part of humanity's collective wisdom. Even as technology advances, the fundamental rhythms of life remain. Births, seasons, harvests, and the passage of time continue to guide societies. Humans still gather to share stories, celebrate, mourn, and reflect. The heart, curious, brave, and compassionate, remains central to civilization's journey. Exploration, whether on Earth, in oceans, or across the cosmos, is a testament to humanity's enduring resilience. It reminds humans that the world, and the universe, is vast and full of wonder, but that courage, curiosity, and compassion light the path forward. The story of humanity is a story of adventure, learning, and hope, written across millennia and across stars. Culture, arts, music, and human connection. Civilization is not measured only by monuments, inventions, or trade, it is also defined by the rhythms of human life, the songs sung around fires, the dances performed in celebration, the stories told to teach and to dream. Art and culture have been the soul of humanity, weaving connections across time, space, and generations. In ancient villages, music was simple yet profound. Drums, flutes, and voices marked ceremonies, hunts, and seasons. Every melody carried memory, a tune to summon rain, a song to honor ancestors, a lullaby to soothe a child. Music bridged generations, carrying wisdom and emotion beyond words. Dance followed naturally, movements celebrating harvests, victories, or sacred rituals. Each step and gesture encoded stories, hopes, and communal identity. Painting, sculpture, and architecture captured human imagination. Cave paintings told of hunts, animals, and mystical symbols. Statues immortalized gods, kings, and heroes. temples, ziggurats, and pyramids were both functional and expressive, reflecting human creativity and spiritual aspiration. Every brushstroke, every chisel mark, and every carefully placed stone told a story, linking humanity across centuries. Literature emerged as a vessel for thought and emotion. Poems, epics, and myths transmitted morals, values, and dreams. Storytellers carried tales from village to village, ensuring that the experiences of one generation informed the next. Written words preserved these tales for eternity, creating bridges between past and future, imagination and reality. Human connection is nurtured through shared experiences. Markets, festivals, and communal gatherings allowed people to meet, share, and learn from one another. Ideas, inventions, and cultural practices spread across regions. A trader from Mesopotamia introduced textiles to Egypt, along with songs and stories. Travelers from Greece brought philosophical thought to Rome. In this way, knowledge, art, and emotion traveled hand in hand, enriching human civilization. Music evolved over time, reflecting emotion, innovation, and cultural exchange. From the rhythmic drums of Africa to the melodic lyres of Greece, from the orchestras of Europe to the chants of Asia, each note told stories of love, loss, triumph, and hope. People discovered that music could unite, inspire, and heal. Concerts, performances, and gatherings became moments of reflection, learning, and communal joy. Artistic expression also captured struggle and resilience. Painters depicted wars and famines, sculptors carved figures of heroes and martyrs, poets chronicled heartbreak and hope. Creativity became a mirror of human experience, allowing communities to process sorrow, celebrate achievement, and imagine possibilities. Even in modern times, culture remains central. Films, literature, and digital art reach global audiences. Music streams across continents, connecting hearts and minds. Virtual performances allow participation from anywhere, breaking the limitations of geography. Humanity's need for connection, expression, and shared experience remains as vital as it was in the earliest villages. Human connection thrives not only through art but also through empathy and collaboration. Acts of kindness, shared knowledge, and collective problem-solving strengthen communities. In times of crisis, natural disasters, pandemics, or conflicts, humans have repeatedly demonstrated resilience, compassion, and unity. These are the qualities that have allowed civilizations to endure, grow, and flourish across millennia. Stories, music, art, and human connections remind humanity that life is more than survival, it is experience, emotion, and shared understanding. Through creativity and empathy, humans continue to connect, learn, and dream together, weaving a tapestry that encompasses countless generations. Culture and arts are not only reflections of the past but also guides for the future. They teach empathy, preserve knowledge, and inspire imagination. In every festival, performance, and shared story, humans reaffirm their place in the world, their responsibility to one another, and their potential to create a legacy of beauty, understanding, and hope. Future challenges, climate, technology, and hope. As humanity moved deeper into the 21st century and beyond, the world grew more interconnected and complex. Technology advanced at a breathtaking pace. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and biotechnology reshaped daily life. Humans could communicate instantly across continents, explore space, and manipulates matter at atomic scales. Yet with such progress came responsibility. The environment reminded humanity of its fragility. Rising temperatures, melting ice caps, and extreme weather events challenged societies around the globe. Humanity had learned from past civilizations, without balance, survival was impossible. Collaborative efforts arose. Nations, scientists, and communities shared resources, technology, and knowledge to combat climate change, restore ecosystems, and protect biodiversity. Renewable energy, reforestation, sustainable agriculture, and ocean conservation became priorities. Humans realized that survival depended not only on innovation but also on respect for the planet that nurtured life for millennia. Even as challenges loomed, hope persisted. Education and creativity flourished. Children learned empathy, ethics, and critical thinking alongside science and technology. Stories, music, and art continued to inspire imagination. Museums, virtual galleries, and interactive performances connected past, present, and future. Humanity embraced the understanding that beauty, creativity, and culture are as vital as progress and survival. Space exploration became a beacon of ambition and unity. Humans returned to the moon, established bases on Mars, and sent probes to explore the far reaches of the solar system. Each mission was a testament to cooperation, ingenuity, and courage. These journeys reminded humans that the universe was vast, mysterious, and full of possibility, and that even as one species among billions of stars, humans could leave a mark through curiosity, perseverance, and collaboration. Technology and humanity intertwined. I assisted in medical breakthroughs, environmental solutions, and scientific research. Machines became partners in creativity, helping compose music, write literature, and simulate artistic expression. Yet humans retained their most essential quality, imagination and empathy. No machine could replace the human heart, the capacity to feel, dream, and connect with others. Challenges remained, from social inequality to global crises, but humans demonstrated resilience time and again. Communities came together in times of need, innovations solved problems once thought impossible, and compassion guided actions. The lessons of history were clear: cooperation, knowledge, and courage are humanity's greatest tools. And yet, amid technology and advancement, the simple joys of life endured. Families gathered to share meals. Children played in parks and explored nature. Music and storytelling connected hearts across generations. Even in a world of machines and screens, humans returned to the quiet moments, watching stars, listening to the wind, marveling at the sea, or sitting by a fire. The story of humanity is one of balance, between ambition and humility, progress and preservation, intellect and emotion. It is a story written across millennia, etched in stone, sung in songs, recorded in books, and now encoded in data streams and digital memories. Every human life contributes a thread to this intricate tapestry. History whispers softly to each person. You are part of this long, beautiful journey. Your actions, dreams, and stories shape the world. Protect it. Learn from it. Love it. And remember, tomorrow, your story continues. From the first fire to the exploration of stars, from cave paintings to virtual realities, humanity has endured, imagined, and created. The journey is unending. Each generation adds its own dreams, challenges, and triumphs, expanding the legacy of civilization. And as humans sleep, reflect, and dream, the heart of civilization beats quietly, patiently,